Well, now that we got that mess cleaned out, basically what I'm doing is, this is the one I showed in the rack that was wrecked earlier. This thing does not have no rust in the rockers, in the dog legs, up around the quarter panel. All this stuff is good and solid. So what I'm planning to do here now is, because then this part of the car would actually, someone could use either the quarter, or they could cut this rocker and replace something that's rusted on theirs if they so desire. So basically we're going to take, I don't know, I might just come across here, because this is going to be the shortest route. I did kind of put some lines in here where I'm going to be cutting this right across here. The reason why I'm doing that is because it keeps you on the outside of this rail, so you're not cutting through as much. And then we'll just come here, we'll cut through this. That will release this lower part here and the quarter up through, along with cutting here. We're going to go out around all that and then up along the side here. You can see we kind of have some lines. I know we can come in here closer. There is a spot here in the front that's pretty solid, so I'm not quite sure how this is going to cut through here. I never really cut through one of these, but that's the plan. Then come up through here somewhere, right? Okay, and then right here where this is, cut straight across here, which, I mean, it depends on where I end up coming up, but this will be cut across here. And we'll do the front, and then I'll let this part right here connected so that it has some support, along with right here. You can see we got some X's on here. If you pull off this, you can see that this would be a good spot. Probably come here, I'll come across and then out around, in case someone does want to use this whole quarter. They can come in here and either, you know, undo these. Oh, come on now. There we go. They can undo some of this. They could seam it up across here. This is actually a separate piece right here for your weather strip that is spot welded on here also. But your main part is this here. This whole side is technically all the way up through here, and it's actually joined right across here. So it's pretty much, that would be a lot of work if someone was doing that, honestly, on one of these cars. I just kind of, I don't know. Me, I just think that's too much work, and the car is probably not worth the repair. It would have to be something really, really nice, or have great value, or, you know, something where someone actually wanted to take the time to do that. So, that's pretty much what we're doing there. The glass was kind of nice because it did have some tint on, so it kind of held it together. I used gloves. I got a lot of this folded up. We did get to use our shop vac right here. Ancient thing, works really good. Vacuum cars out with it, vacuum everything with it. All right, now we did get a new saw here to try. I did have a battery powered one. You can use a sawzall like this, a recip saw. You could use, I wouldn't say trying to use this the whole way through, but you know, you could use a cutoff wheel for part of it. You could use an air hammer with a shear bit. They have the electric shear ones. You could use a plasma cutter. I do have an older Nikita wired saw. That's actually helped do a lot of things. For example, I mean, this stuff is hit and it pushes it back, so sometimes you have to cut the front end out of the way to be able to get the parts off of. Here's something I didn't see. It's actually got it chunked right there pretty good. All right, I got a couple more things here I got to clean up, and then, well, I got some stuff to take off. We got to get this rear suspension out of the way. I'm going to pull these speakers. I think I'm going to pull these speakers because that whole center deck's getting cut out. Pull these seals. I'm going to get the this headliner out of here. I do have some sunroof ones, but I don't have any hardtop ones. This one seems to be in pretty decent condition, minus a stain. But hey, you never know. Might be able to use it for something. So that's where we're at. We have our centers cut out. Actually, I just kind of worked my way up through here. I got the suspension undone out of the way here. All right, still plugged in a little bit. I'm actually cut up through here. I have a jack stand supporting here, and we're actually working our way up through here now. Like I said, I'm gonna have to, this is gonna be a really tough spot, which is probably right there, which means I need to come over here and follow this and cut through here so that I miss my stand. And then I have to get, maybe I can get a jack stand, put it over here underneath the front of this. Never enough room in here, guys. Never enough. Okay. Here we go. All right. It'll probably sink down some, which isn't really going to hurt anything here. Like I said, all this up here is no good. As long as we miss this right here, and we have to cut through this, which means we got to stay over here pretty far. So actually you can see the blade back there. So this new saw, man, I'll tell you what, it's working out here pretty good. So I'm just gonna try to set you up somewhere, and yeah, let's vibrate all over the place here. Okay, that's where we are right now. Let's double check ourselves down here. Okay, look at that. We're missing our stand. Let's take an underneath look. Look at that. Cut all the way up through. I got to get these two bolts out of the way. And then we're going to chop straight through here. Straight through here. Well, I'll probably come up here and I'll cut through the top. And I'll cut through the bottom. And I'll save this one for last, because that's pretty much where what's supporting my weight right now is right there. And this is actually has this hanging in the back, as you can see. So we don't want this thing to go like that. That's why I got the two jack stands, but it is going to fall a little bit. actually the whole way through here now, across there. Right now I cut up here, so right now our last part to cut is absolutely right here. Let's see what happens. We're cut through. So let's see if we can lift this off of here. Never know, man. Some sharp edges. Probably not the best place to have a whole bunch of seats. That much I did. Okay. See what happens. Wow. That's a heavy side of a car. Check it out. All right. Not too much you can't do with a Sawzall. Most of those blades were all just reused too. So, you know, we got up through here. We cut everything out of here pretty good. See, I think I bumped that a couple times, maybe here, right there, but actually, you know, come off pretty good. Here's what it looks like off. So I mean, perfect part for doing some rust repair. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, this thing is huge. It has lots of sharp spots. I could have cut these off over the years, but you know, there was no real drive, no real want. But hopefully, like I said, I have this one. It's pretty nice. No rust down through here. No rust in the rockers. They're all nice and solid. So we got to cut that side off yet. And there's not much left of this car. I mean, that really says something, to be able to reuse as much as possible from the car. You know, there wasn't really, you know, no front end parts, obviously. The wheels were still good, the front suspension, you know what I mean? I just wouldn't trust none of that stuff. Yeah, you know, I might pull the rack off, maybe. I know I was still thinking about doing the headliner, but we're past that point now. We're not even gonna bother. So the headliner cut nice. This way you can see, you know what I mean, what's here in your roof, how the metal's doubled up here. You know, you can see what you got going on there. There's really, I mean, there's really nothing here in the rear, which is why when these things get hit in the rear end, no real cross braces. Here's in the middle underneath your seat, side to side. You know what I mean? You have these little tiny supports here. You know, this is just the center bracket here for you know, these to bolt into, but it's a, you know, two thin sheets of metal there, and there's not really much holding the car together. The way these things are built. That's a pretty funny view. But yeah, I'm gonna end it there. Hopefully there's enough decent stuff to edit out. Everything is still a mess. Shop's always a mess. It's the best way to say it. But that just means you're doing lots of stuff all at one time. Hopefully, I can get some of this stuff cleaned up. I can get back to working on my orange car. The injectors did come. Waiting on a part for the fuel system. Some of that stuff is on back order right now, as is everything else. So, as soon as that stuff gets here, we'll do a video on the install. Maybe talk to the guy who creates the stuff. And, yeah. But anyway, yeah, a couple more of those, a couple more yeahs, a couple more anyways. The brand new saw worked really well. I did go through one of the batteries. I made it almost to the end, so I had to switch over batteries. So maybe a 4.0 battery would have cut the whole way through here. But, you know, no new blades. These were all reused blades. I did get some new ones. I just had them. I just had them and lost them again. But anyway, we'll try a new blade out and a fresh battery and see how far we can get with that thing tomorrow. It is kind of cool just to try that stuff out. It's nice to have that, because if you see one of these, or you need something off of something at a U-pull at a junkyard or whatnot, and they don't mind if you cut sections off of the car to do a repair, and you're into welding and stuff like that, you can do it. This is no different than, you know, typically like a body shop would just come in here and they would cut it off, but they wouldn't worry about pulling wiring or panels or anything like that if you've ever seen any of them cuts when they come from a junkyard. I try to save everything, so, because we're going to use it. All right, I think I'm finally going to end this. Till the next one, see ya. All right. Quick, easy work of the passenger side. I got the rest of the rear suspension off. This is kind of funny. Maybe I can just fold that up into the inside. Who knows? But that's pretty much the that's pretty much the end of this thing. Nothing left. 2 good rust-free rockers and quarter panels. Inside cuts off of this. Hopefully someone can use these and do some rust repair. So I do have one more yet that I'm going to cut off from another wreck that actually looks like it's pretty rust free. But this is it. Goodbye.